Let's get to our over-unders. We're doing the NFC this week. Same thing as last week, same format. We're going to do 3 locks per person. Some kind of stupid challenge to be named later. I don't know what I got to buy like 50 Bitcoin or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So with that, Aaron, you're using FanDuel. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm using the FanDuel. It's updated as of today.
All right. Where are we going?
Let's start with the NFC East. We'll start out on the East Coast. Looks like Dallas is the favorite to win the division, plus 110, followed by Washington plus 260, the G-Men plus 400, and Philly plus 550. So we'll start at the top of the ladder here. Dallas at 9.5 wins. Hayden, how you feeling? Over under 9.5 for Dallas.
Oh, I'm hitting that over. I'm high on Dallas. They're getting Dak back. They're returning all 11 starters on offense. They got a pretty good wide receiver group, I would say. The only concern would be their defense needs to improve massively. And this group on offense hasn't really played much. They didn't get to play much together last year. I'll send it over to Drew. I'm hitting the over on Dallas.
Is this a lock? You sounded very confident. Is that one of your locks?
It's not a lock. No, I am confident.
He's gonna wait. He's gonna wait until the end of the pod again. He's gonna have to pick between like, oh God, just Arizona and like
Cardinals. We get out west, and he's like, oh no, I got to pick a team.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Seahawks, Rams, Cards, all over because.
Yeah, definitely. I'm waiting.
So the best thing that Dallas has going for it, and I do think they probably win this division. I don't think Washington has done enough to win it. Philly, I still feel like they don't know who they are. And I honestly, that we'll get to that, I guess. I think it's an over, but it's like a really soft over. It's an egg over easy. I don't feel great about it, but they get 6 games against 3 teams that I don't think are very good. They get back Dak Prescott. They drafted another linebacker. I think they're like the Houston approach, where we're just going to draft 17 linebackers, and that's it. We're just going to play all 17 linebackers on defense.
So,
but yeah, soft over.
When I see Jalen Smith spend somewhere about $500K to switch his jersey number to number 9, I'm just sitting here looking. Did you not notice they basically drafted your replacement in the first round, like this Parsons guy from Penn State? Are you not paying attention to this? Like, I'm not sure if you should be blowing $500,000 to change your jersey number when you could have done it for free next season. Oh, that was so brutal. It was so.
He's not going to be around next season, though. That's his thinking behind it.
Even more so, if you're not going to be around, why are you spending $500,000 to change your jersey number?
Exactly.
Man, it's
Aaron's just mad at the hometown kid. That's all.
That he went to the same high school as me. I was long gone by the time he went through there, but man, I see that happen. I'm like, I know our econ teacher taught you better than that, bud. Like, this is
Aaron's just heated because Jalen Smith broke all of his athletic records. Like, that's it, man.
I don't. Yeah. I think I had any athletic records for sure. I'm going under on Dallas though to get back on track, because I think they might have the worst coach in the NFL, to be honest. And I don't know if we're chalking up Dak Prescott as like a tried and true leader of men in the locker room. So I'm a little shaky on the whole leadership front on the team.
They missed
him
last year.
Feel like they might be having a little bit of an identity crisis. So they used to be this like, all right, we're going to pound the ball. We're going to run it with the best offensive line in the league. They always have a stud running back. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to be. And now that's kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. They drafted some flashy wide receivers. They lost a few of those stud linemen. Zeke's got some, running out of tread on the tires there. And they dumped all of their draft and monetary resources into defense this offseason. They went with the Parsons kid from Penn State in the first round. They took a cornerback out of Kentucky in the second, and another DT from UCLA in the third. free agency, they signed Jordan Lewis. They re-signed Jordan Lewis. They signed Terrell Basham from the Jets and previously the Colts. And they got the guy out of Atlanta, Keanu Neal. They didn't take any offensive players whatsoever, which I guess maybe they didn't need them. That's fine. I thought maybe the offensive line could use a little bit of work. But it's like, okay, so now you're going to be a grinded out defensive team, or I don't know. I just don't trust McCarthy or Jones or Prescott, really. I'm going to go under 9.5. I mean,
all right. So I got a couple caveats to that. So the offensive line piece, Zach Martin got hurt. They lost Tyron Smith in like the beginning of the year, and Collins, the right tackle, opted out. So they had three big pieces on their offensive line. I'm not telling you guys are world beaters, but they have Zach Martin actually is a world beater. Zach Martin is one of the best offensive linemen in football. Their left guard was 16th out of 80 qualified players on per PFF. Their center was bad, but if everyone around you is bad, the center just looks bad historically. So I don't know that they needed to invest a lot in the offensive side of the ball. I do think their defense was atrocious, and that's what got them out of a lot of games last year. But I agree with your point around McCarthy, unless he's smashing watermelons before the game. He is actually the best coach in football after the watermelon smash. Look it up. It's real. But also just the Joneses from the top, right? I mean, your GM is the son of an oil tycoon. So, I mean, is he really just like grinding out analytics to see like where they can get an edge? I get what you're saying. I think the leadership is more at fault than anyone else in this situation.
Yeah, I think the whole division is just going to be a mess, and I don't know if anybody gets to 10 wins.
Well, that sucks for all of us because we're going to catch 47 primetime NFC East games again this year because the league loves that shit.
They bring in good numbers. They really do.
Yeah.
It just so I can hate watch Dallas and Philly week 11 when both teams like 6-5 and like 4-7. I got to just spoon feed some more Chris Collinsworth just talking shit. Just like, oh, Dak Prescott. Let me tell you, Bob. Who's up?
We got the football team coming up next. They put them at 8 wins, which I thought was pretty fair, honestly. Strong takes from either of you?
No, that's fair. That's probably spot on, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that. I love the addition of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think maybe
I knew you would
see what some of their wide receivers can do with a capable quarterback. Oh, that was another thing about the Ben quote. Did you see Ben just heaping praise on that OSU kid? What's his name? The quarterback that Washington cut, Haskins.
Oh God.
Roethlisberger was like, Haskins throws the prettiest ball I've ever seen. I was like,
do you realize that Ben Roethlisberger sees so much of himself in Dwayne Haskins? He's like big, chubby fuck, throws the ball far, can't keep his head on straight his first like 5 years in the league. In another world, Ben Roethlisberger was literally Dwayne Haskins before Dwayne Haskins. It was just he played for a stellar organization. I shouldn't say stellar. Plays for a good, well-run organization. Bill Cowher was
from Ohio also. Maybe they're both Ohio natives.
They are both Ohio natives, I think. That? But no. Haskins was from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to set the over-under on 4 games before Fitzpatrick throws like 3 picks and Riverboat Ron chokes him out on the sidelines. He's like, I beat cancer to watch you fuck this up. Like, he does not tolerate guys who throw picks. That is not not Riverboat Ron.
I disagree. Riverboat Ron, he likes to gamble. Fitzmagic also loves to gamble with his passes. He will chuck the ball into any window, whether it's there or not. Maybe they're both on the same page. They could be fun to watch.
Yeah, but it puts them at what? They're 8 and 9. That sucks because 8 would probably be the number. Yeah. I'm gonna lean under just for argument's sake. I think the wheels fall off here at some point.
Yeah, I'm going under. Oh, you're going over.
I'm gonna lean over.
I think their defense is gonna be all right. They were good last season, so
they were. Yeah, they have the best defensive end like name pairing in the league at Young Sweat. Like that just sounds like a mixtape ready to drop somewhere.
Cole Beasley's mixtape.
Hot Sauce featuring Young Sweat. Oh, Jesus. I thought that was Michael Jackson's last album. Sorry, guys. Cut that one out.
When we get to the G-Men, I'm so antsy.
Yeah, go.
This is
New York Football Giants.
This is a stone cold lock for the over. This says over written all over it. So here's what we're looking at. Okay. Could I name any wide receivers on the Giants last year? They had the Notre Dame guy. Yeah, they didn't have a lot going on.
Tate, Golden.
Yeah, Golden Tate. Didn't have a lot going on. Saquon got hurt. Dimes was struggling. Their defense, though, was actually very solid. If you guys remember, their defense was really giving people some trouble down the stretch. They played in a lot of low-scoring games.
Yeah, Bradbury's a stud.
Betting the Giants in a primetime divisional under game, anytime they played somebody else in that division in a primetime game, you could just take it to the bank that game was going under every time it was going under. And now they finally they gave Danny Dimes something to work with. If we want to look at positional groups that have had the biggest upgrade, you mentioned it earlier, Hayden. We could barely name any of the Giants wide receivers from last year, but they signed Kenny Galladay in free agency. They draft Kadarius Toney in the first round. They traded up to get Kadarius Toney in the first round. They also threw in ex-Vike Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So if Dimes can make a little bit of a step forward here, if these new weapons can kind of help him figure some things out. They already have a strong defense. They could pop offensively if Saquon gets hot and Danny can make a few throws here. 7. This over under is 7. I had to double check that. I thought that was a mistake. They're way over 7. I think they win 9, maybe 10 games plus 400 to win the division. That might be good value from my perspective.
Yeah, this is my lock. Actually, this is my first lock. Giants over.
First lock on the board.
Yep. I wrote a piece on Franchise Tagged about the Giants draft and how much I enjoyed it. So I'm pretty high on the Giants this year. Like I said earlier, I like Daniel Jones. So there's that. And like you said, Aaron, the defense improved so much last season, and I think it's going to carry over. I'm locking up the Giants over 7 games.
I'm with you.
7's a good number. I'm going to go over. I don't really have any strong opinions on this. I'm not a huge Daniel Jones guy, but getting Saquon Barkley back, maybe that's the biggest positional upgrade. You've somehow found Saquon Barkley again. And I think that means a lot to this team. Kyle Rudolph declined athletically, but is still he's a great blocking tight end and a perfect complement to Evan Ingram. I mean,
that's what he's there for. Yeah, Ingram's like a wide receiver. Rudolph's there to block.
Yeah, Kyle Rudolph is probably like premier tight end 2 on any team in the league, right? I mean, you would take him as your second tight end. Guy who's big catches, huge moments in playoff games, caught that walk-off tutty against the Saints a couple years back. At 7, it's definitely an over for me as well.
A lock? We're not all locking this, are we?
I'm not locking the Giants, no. Primarily because
same thing. It's kiss of death.
That's your lock, Aaron, as well, the Giants? I missed that, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Stone cold lock. Yeah. Sure. No question. Eagles at 6.5. We get a first-time head coach here, Nick Sirianni, swiped Indy's OC. This is his first time as a head coach at any level of football ever. He's always been an assistant or a coordinator, whatever the case may be. He has some talent on his roster. Is he going to be able to figure some things out and make it all find its rhythm? I have my doubts. 6.5, I think, is a pretty fair number. I don't really feel overly passionate one way or the other for that one.
Hey, do you guys remember when the Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor because they thought that Justin Jefferson could only play in the slot? And then this year, they're like, Jalen Reagor's only going to play in the slot. Hard under. Your answer was, can he figure it out? The answer is no. No, this team is a dumpster fire. You saw everything starting to come undone last year. Howie had another 64 trades in the draft this year that I don't think he really generated any value from. I don't know how Howie still has a job. Like there's so I understand. I guess you win a Super Bowl, you get like 3 bonus years in the NFL these days. But like, man, there has not been much from him, and his last like 4 drafts are really trades that have really stuck out. I mean, they let Zach Ertz walk for nothing in a year that they weren't going to get anything. Like they weren't going anywhere. I mean, somebody in the league would have given up a 4th or a 3rd for Zach Ertz.
Still on
last
the
year.
roster.
Yeah,
They're
he's still
talking-
on there. Yeah.
Oh no, he's going to be cut in like the next 2 days. Like that was like one of the things that came out today. Was like watch and wait for Zach Ertz to get cut.
Yeah.
Because his salary, the dead cap hit like got cut in half.
Howie blamed it all on Doug. Howie was able to finagle everything to the owner and said, it's all Doug's fault. Doug screwed everything up. You get rid of Doug and we're going to be great. Okay.
Yeah.
Doug's gone. Now it's on you, Howie.
Yeah, no, it's no under.
I'm
Hard
going,
under.
I'm going under as well. Their first 4 games at Atlanta versus San Francisco, at Dallas versus Kansas City. I think that's tough to start.
No,
so.
keep going.
Oh
Then
yeah,
you go
at
to
Carolina, Tampa Bay, at Las Vegas, at Detroit versus the Chargers.
Yeah. All right, week 8. That's when the first kneecap gets bit. That's when it all goes downhill, man.
It's going to be brief.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Howie hired him purely because he was like, "Can I get this guy fired before I get fired?" And I think, hey, just too much inexperience in the roster and in the coaching room. We need adult. I'm gonna go hire Vic Fangio, and then then it's over.
Oh boy.
Man, that's a brutal start.
All
All
right,
right,
what's
let's keep it
what's
moving.
next?
Let's go to the NFC South, the land of your Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are minus 190. I don't have all the numbers in front of me. They might be the biggest favorite to win their division. Minus 190, and then you have the Saints 310 plus 310, Atlanta plus 700, and Carolina way down there at plus 1200.
The Saints are 3-1 to win that division.
Yeah, that was my question too.
Famous Jameis.
Dude,
Yeah.
whoever, send your money to me. Don't waste it on that. Send it here. I'll do something with it. If you're gonna donate it, oh my God, that's so sad. What's their number?
9.
9?
Yes.
Over. Oh, over. Yes, over. 100%. Yeah, I'll lock that shit. I'll lock that shit
like
right
the
now
Saints?
at 9.
You like the Saints?
Oh no! I thought we started with the Bucks. I thought you said the.
we were, but you were talking about the Saints, and you were like, "What's their number?"
Oh.
Anyway, I was like,
I
then you went-
thought we just led with the Bucks. If the Bucks number is 9, yeah, fucking send it.
"No. Bucks are at 11.5."
Oh, okay. that
makes
feels
things a little
feels.
But they have an easy schedule. Tom gets.
They
his
have the
ass-
easiest.
Oh
They have
my
the easiest schedule. Yeah, I'm actually that's an over for me with the Bucks as well. I think they're running it back with literally everyone. They made all of the math work. They had another good draft. And I think that Arians is the type of guy who's like, I'm only doing this for like 2 more years. So like, let's just bust everybody. So yeah, I'm in over on the Bucks. I think they win 12 games.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think we have to spend too much time on them. I think we all know what they're going to be. They're going to be good. They got Tom Brady. They're keeping all their starters. I'm going over as well.
Yeah, if there's 2 guys in the league that I would trust to make sure there's no kind of Super Bowl hangover, might be Belichick might be one of them actually, but Brady and Arians have to be right there on the list.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them having any kind of trouble. I think they have a lot of young, talented players who got a little bit of taste of Super Bowl success and want to keep this rolling. And when you have Brady in the locker room, you feel like that's possible every year, almost regardless of anything else. He's just that steadying force that kind of empowers the rest of the roster. And I don't have a real hard time seeing them.
We're also
14
they're going to get a full season of Antonio Brown. They're going to get a full season of like normal Antonio Brown. They brought in, did they get Gio Bernard? Is that who they brought in too?
Yeah, they brought him in.
Oh, dude, Brady loves a pass catching running back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The James White.
This might be cheap, and I said it when you first said the number was 9, but I'll still lock it in at 12.
Okay.
12.5, you think wins? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 12 and
Take it.
5.
Your first lock.
My first lock today. I've got some pretty empowered speeches for later on in this episode.
You're just salivating for the NFC North. You can't.
Yeah,
wait.
that's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. Get me off my soapbox, man. You're gonna have to tell me when to stop talking.
So, are you under on the Saints then? Saints are at 9.
Oh God, yeah. Holy shit, under.
Yeah, under.
Let me try to persuade you. Let me spin an argument your way to try to persuade you a little bit. Their defense was pretty damn good last year. And they doubled down on that in the draft. They went pass rusher, inside linebacker, cornerback, first 3 rounds of the draft. Didn't do much in free agency. They signed Vanette, the Broncos, maybe.
They can't do anything. They're like $76 million over the cap. They can't do anything.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense then. They didn't, but I don't know.
They still have to cut players, Aaron. Like people have to leave.
Yeah, that's the bums. I'm talking about the front end guys. Their front line defensively, their front 7 is strong. They have good cornerbacks. They have Lattimore. They have a pretty good defense, and they have a strong run game. So they might be able to kind of cover up the Jameis Taysom combo. I'm just basically trying to explain to you why the number's 9 and why I'm not necessarily slamming the button on the under on that.
The number is 9 because of Jameis Winston and Sean Payton. They have Michael Thomas. They have Kamara. I get it. But also they're still over the cap. They have to release guys. So like Cam Jordan is a prime cut trade candidate. The same for Lattimore. So the guys on defense you're giving me might not be there at all. And spare me the Jameis Mormon Tim Tebow combo. I don't give a shit about Taysom Hill at all. That guy worked because Breeze was there. I don't under.
He's not a starter.
Under.
What if
I told you they have the best tackle duo in the league? Would that change your mind on Jameis Winston?
At Ramczyk and Armstead? No, because Squints still throws in the triple coverage.
Yeah.
Which, granted, if he's only throwing slants to Michael Thomas, maybe that isn't an issue. But, man, I just don't see it. I don't see it with this team.
Me either.
And they have somehow the toughest schedule in that division, which is saying something because they play Tampa Bay twice. I guess that makes sense. But, I mean, they open against Green Bay, which who knows? Then they have Carolina. They're at Carolina. They're at New England, the Giants, and then at the Washington football team. Bye week at Seattle, Tampa, wow. Atlanta, at Tennessee. I mean, if you're like, hey, they're 3-7 on week 10, or if they're 2-7 at week 10, like I totally buy that.
Yeah, you're right.
You are. It took 1 year for you to forget about how important home field advantage is in the NFL. One COVID year, and you forget how people shit their pants when they come to the Superdome.
Aaron, they only have 2 home games, and one of them's Tampa Bay.
That's not a guaranteed victory.
They're on the road for, and then the teams they catch at home at the latter portion of the year, it's Buffalo, it's Dallas, it's Miami, it's Carolina.
I feel like you're very passionate about this under. Are you sure you don't want to lock it? I want to catch you in this.
You want to catch me in this? Fine. You know what? I don't need my third lock. Yes, lock it in. I think the Saints suck. They're the Aints. Under 9. Yes, lock it in. Tattoo that one on my chest, Aaron Miller. I'm happy you talked me into it.
Your chest is going to be fully tattooed.
Absolutely, baby. Just a fleur-de-lis and a horseshoe. That's my family crest. Put it on a flag. Fly it in front of my house.
All right, let's talk a little bit of Falcons. They've been like at the center of a lot of discussions this offseason for numerous reasons. They get a new head coach. And that's one of the reasons I like the Saints, Sean Payton. Anyways, Arthur Smith was the OC for the Titans. Titans are coming off their highest scoring season in almost 2 decades. And fun fact about Arthur Smith, his dad is the CEO and founder of FedEx. So we got a little bit of a silver spoon thing going on here. 9 siblings for Arthur Smith. So he falls on the totem pole there, but big fam. Number's 8 for the Falcons.
The number is 8?
Number's 8.
That one's tough.
Go ahead. You lead that one. You pick this.
You know what? Screw it. I'll go over. I think I still have enough faith in Matt Ryan. I know they kind of start out. Who do they got? They got Philly at Tampa, at Giants, Washington, and then London against the Jets. Yeah, I'll still go over 8. Why not? I'm excited to see Kyle Pitts, and if they keep Julio, which they probably won't, but if they do, then that's some of the best pass catchers in the definitely in the division. I think outside of Tampa Bay, maybe.
Yeah, even if Julio's gone, Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts is a really good combo.
Yeah.
I like over. I like over on 8.
See, I'm going under on 8. I agree with all the points you guys just made. I really do, but their defense is still really bad. It's really bad. New head coach. He was kind of, from what I've read, he was a big part in drafting like AJ Brown. He likes big physical receivers. So I understand his appeal with guys like Pitts, etc. He clearly thinks he can get something out of Matt Ryan this year. He can unlock him a bit. Otherwise, they would have taken a quarterback there. I see it. I hear it. I just don't think it materializes. If you're looking at same stuff, if you're looking at their schedule, I mean, they're going to get Tampa Bay twice. They definitely have a more favorable one than New Orleans just because of where they finished in the division last year.
Yeah.
But even so, 13 through 18, tail end of the year, they've got Tampa at Carolina, at San Francisco, Detroit at Buffalo. They could go 2-4 down the stretch.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
that is
I think 8 is probably the number, or just below it. I could see them being 7 and 10, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
fair enough. Carolina 7.5. Matt Rule, second year. They got Darnold under center.
Mm-hmm.
Run CMC. Drafted. They went cornerback with that 8th overall pick. Also, did you guys see the video of their GM laughing the Vikings out of their war room when the Vikings were trying to trade up first round? You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings were trying real hard. They wanted Fields.
Yeah.
Wanted him back.
They did.
Didn't offer enough, apparently. Didn't happen.
You keep talking so much about the Vikings on every one of these teams, man. Just living rent free, baby. Yeah. It's fine. It's okay. I'm gonna get there. I heard your whole coach spiel last week. I heard you stand up on the mountaintop and talk about how much you loved your team. Don't shit talk my biases. All right.
I think Aaron's talked more about the Vikings on this podcast than the two of us combined, Drew. So
that's big facts. Yeah,
definitely.
Ex-Vike, Kyle Rudolph. Oh, there's an old Viking on their team. Look at this guy. Come on, keep it moving. Keep it moving.
All right. So what do you guys like? 7.5. I like under on Carolina. I don't see a lot going on. Darnold kind of flamed out in New York. I don't really see a big resurgence going on here. They play in what I think is a tough division. Obviously, you guys don't, but I think having to play 6 games with Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, that's not pretty. I think they're probably picking top 5 next year.
So, I actually really like Carolina.
Yeah.
I like the Darnold retread. Matt Rule, every stop that he has made, the team has improved in the first couple of years. So you made a comparison about Robert Saleh last week that just like Harbaugh, he's one of those like energetic, rah-rah kind of coaches that have really limiting returns by like year 3.
Yeah.
Matt Rule hasn't had a chance to prove that yet because he's bounced after like the 4th year everywhere he has been. He did it at Temple. He did it again at Baylor.
That's a good sign.
Well, if years 2 and 3 are dope and he leaves in year 4 or whatever, he's got nowhere to go now.
Oh, I thought you said like he was getting fired.
No, he's a turnaround artist. He takes shitty teams and builds them into something and then gets the next job, which now there's nowhere for him to go, right? So I like Darnold. I like Darnold New York. Very seldom does the quarterback retread work in the league. Typically the confidence is gone, but Darnold made some throws last year, man, that I was like, yo, okay. The talent is clearly there, but what remains to be seen is like between the ears, is he still there? Like, is he still the number 1 pick, or has that just been beaten out of him playing in New York? They've got Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore. They drafted Marshall Jr. I liked him coming out. Christian McCaffrey will be healthy all year. Another running back, kind of getting back to it. I liked J.C. Horn a lot. He was my highest rated corner coming out. If that defense stays solvent this year, I think they can probably win some games. And then if you're looking at their start, right? If you're looking at the first 5 weeks of the season, they go Jets at home, New Orleans at home, at Houston, at Dallas. And they go 3-1 in that stretch and feel pretty good about themselves. Who knows what happens? So I'm going over. I really like Carolina and what they've done.
Basically, you just believe in Darnold and Rule more than I do, is what it comes down to. I agree their defense is good, but we'll see if
Sam Darnold's grandfather was the Marlboro Man, and his name was Dick Hammer. How can you not believe in someone who comes from that lineage? His name was legit Dick Hammer. With a jawline like that? Christ, Aaron.
I'm going under as well. Same with Aaron. I like them being 7-10. So if it's at 7.5,
I gotta go under. But I do think Darnold is going to improve a bit. He has a better team around him than he did in New York, so there's that.
Oh, ye of little faith.
We're here, guys. We made it to the NFC North.
I'm sorry, one more thing. Week 7, Carolina, when they play the G-Men and beat New York in New York, I'm just hammering the slack and roasting both of you guys. I can't wait.
Can't wait. Circle it. You put it in my calendar. All right, boys.
All right, shoot.
Let's get into the NFC North. This is such an interesting division, and I'm not even, I don't even have a horse in this race, but there's a lot of things going on here. So Green Bay, they still had them listed as minus 125 to win the division, but they took the line off for their win total. They have Minnesota slotted in for second. They're plus 270. Then you have the Bears at plus 300 right behind them. And then way, way down there, we have the Lions at plus 2,100. So let's start with the pack before we get into your beloved Vikes. Let's just assume, if we assume Rodgers is there, they're probably still going to win this division. I mean, that's not really much of a leap of faith to say that.
Yeah, so if Rodgers is there and he is in fact their starting quarterback, which we all addressed last week in the opening that we think he will be.
Yeah.
What is their number, right? Probably 10.5, 11.5. That's probably their number.
I was thinking it's probably 10.5. Yeah.
10.5. Yeah. So I mean, if it's 10.5, does this team go 11-6 or 12-5? Yeah, probably.
13-3 last year.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still the best quarterback in football. Sans Pat Mahomes. I mean, we can debate that back and forth on any given Sunday who you'd rather have. I think if you're building a franchise, it's Mahomes, but like Rodgers has been there and done it. It's tough schedule. 7th hardest in the league next year. I think some of that is what they're expecting in the division, but the NFC North drew the NFC West for the opposing conference this year. So there's some of that. I mean, they're going to get Seattle. They're going to get the Rams. If the number is 10.5, it's over.
Yeah.
All right. I don't disagree. I lean over there. If Rodgers is there, I'm with you on that. We had the Vikings.
Hold on. I have one more Green Bay Packers point.
Okay.
So after the news came out last week that he was in Hawaii with Miles Teller, that story broke that Miles Teller got punched in the face at the bar in Hawaii. Did you hear this?
I heard
so
that.
How much do you want to bet Miles Teller just like looked over and he was like, so I heard you wanted to kick the field goal, and Aaron Rodgers just fucking punched him just at the bar. Just
Definitely.
Like Aaron Rodgers is out of control, man. He's out of control.
He asked him how his family was.
Right.
That's how it started.
Is your brother still on The Bachelor? No? Oh.
Oh, Aaron would be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't watch network television.
I don't have a television. I only read. All right. So you said the Vikings. We're moving on to the team that will win the division. Is that who we're moving on to?
Clearly.
If you say so, Vikes plus 8.5. You like the over then, I imagine?
Hayden, go ahead. You've been licking your chops for like 20 minutes.
I like the over. This is obviously biased, but I think the Vikings have a real good possibility to do some really good things this year. They improved on defense. Zimmer was clearly pissed about the defense last year. Patrick Peterson. You have Danielle Hunter coming back. Michael Pierce. I believe in Kirk Cousins. Great wide receivers in Jefferson and Thielen.
Who's going to be wide receiver 3? I don't know. I think who they got there, it's going to be it doesn't matter. I'm going over if it's 8.5, and yeah, I think they're going to win the division. If fuck it, even if Rodgers is there.
The third wide receiver is still listed as Chad Beebe. That's still, yeah, no, definitely that one goes on the Twitter for sure. Yeah, so clearly biased, but 8.5 is borderline insulting for what this team is. So best linebacker in football, or at least a top 3 linebacker in football 3 years in a row, missed almost the entire year. Anthony Barr missed almost the entire year. Hunter was out, who was an all-pro defensive end the year before that. Pick up Michael Pierce, who had one of the highest run-stopping PFF grades the year prior. You still have Harrison Smith. The secondary is going to look worse when you have no pass rush and all of your linebackers are dead.
Exactly.
I think we can all agree that that's a thing that happens in football. They drafted Christian Darrisaw, who got Dwayne Brown comparisons coming out of the draft. You're also getting Wyatt Davis from Ohio State, who was a projected first rounder until he opted back in late and had a poor showing. If both of those guys are literally league average or even slightly below, this dead last offensive line catapults to like a 14th rated offensive line, which, given how they performed last year with a better defense, I think wins a lot of games. My prediction for the team is probably 11-6 or 12-5. And I think that they're like a real competitor with a team like Green Bay in the top of the division. So over and lock it, because I am a true Minnesota Vikings fan and I want to be heard again. I just want it. I want to set myself up to get my heart broken and you all get to laugh at me again, just like any advanced playoff game in the NFC.
I am not even just to trigger you guys. I think I'm going to lean. I think they win 8 games. I think they probably win 8 games. I like Green Bay. If Rodgers is there, I like the Bears. I just see Captain Kirk getting a year older. I see Thielen getting a year older. Can Dalvin Cook stay on the field? They didn't make any big splashy moves in free agency. So I'm looking at a team with the same core. Sure, they're getting a few defensive guys back. You mentioned that. I get it. But just a team with this same core won 7 games last year.
Just 6 upper tier defensive players, but it's okay. I'm going to drive to your house and shit on your front yard. Go under. It's fine.
I think the best case scenario for them is to win 9 games. I think at their absolute peak, they could win 9. I think it's more likely they're in the 7 to 8 range. And maybe Mike Zimmer gets fired. I don't know.
I think they're 4-2 with the bye. I think they beat Cincinnati. I think they beat Arizona. I think they get Seattle at home for the first time ever. They play them tight. That one, either way. They play Cleveland, probably lose against Cleveland, beat Detroit, and then beat Carolina, then hit the bye and get Dallas after that. I think they're 4-2 with the bye.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. That's a pretty soft opening schedule. I have to imagine it gets tougher down the stretch.
They get Dallas, and they at Baltimore, at the Chargers, Green Bay, at San Francisco, at Detroit, Pittsburgh, at Chicago, the Rams, at Green Bay, Chicago.
Yikes.
Yeah, that gets tough down the stretch, definitely, after the bye.
Yikes.
Yeah, but health permitting, I think that they're as good, if not better, than a lot of those teams that are listed there.
I agree with you.
Outside of if San Francisco's like all the way healthy again, and then you've got Baltimore, which I understand that Baltimore's a good regular season team, but everything they do well is what the Vikings defense is designed to do well against. I don't know, man. Again, there's some biases shining through here, but I'm
looking at the month of November. They might not win a game. At Baltimore, at the Chargers, home to the Packers, at San Francisco. I think that's the most brutal 4-game stretch I've seen on anybody's schedule. So
that Chargers game's a home game though, so we gotta mark that up.
It is. That is a home game.
It says it's at the Chargers. I'm looking at ESPN.
Yeah, it is. But
There's just no Chargers fans. And the last time that the Vikings played in LA, it was all purple. They talked about it on the telecast. It was sad.
Yeah.
We'll see. They're building their base. They got an exciting team this year. They're going to get Julio, and people go nuts for him in LA.
Who's next? We got the Bears and then Detroit.
Yeah. I have strong feelings about the Bears. I have very strong feelings. This is a lock from me, and I'm going over. I'm going over with the Bears. I think they are in really good shape this year. I think Fields hits the ground running. He's starting by week 2 or 3. They're at 7.5. Their win total is 7.5. They won 8 last year. They stacked up the offensive line a little bit in the draft. They have Dalton can steer them through the first couple weeks of the season. Hopefully, go 500, 2-1, something like that. They picked up another outside linebacker, Roquan Smith. I don't think he gets near enough.
He doesn't.
Roquan Smith is so nasty. He's all over the field. They have Khalil Mack. I love the defense. If Allen Robinson can, for the first time in his whole career, have somebody to throw him the ball, he's like a top 7 or 8 wide receiver in the league. He's so underrated. And I think the Bears could feast this year. I don't like him at plus 300 to win the division because I think the Packers have kind of owned them mentally for a long time. But if they split with the Vikes and split with the Packers and sweep Detroit, I mean, we're talking 6 wins right there. They need what, 2 more wins to get over 7.5? I'm a fan. I like the over on the Bears, and that's a lot.
The division reason you just gave for the Bears, you held against the Vikings there somehow, and not getting to 8. It's like a game difference, and you were like, the division, that's 5 wins.
Because I like the Bears to split, maybe sweep the Vikings. That's why I feel that way about that.
And you literally can flip that. I like the Vikings to split or maybe sweep the Bears.
Okay.
The math checks out, man. So your points on the Bears, I do like Fields a lot. I wrote an article about how much I like Justin Fields and how I thought that if San Francisco took him there, it was justified and how I could understand it. There's some, he throws with his wrist, not always like a great base. And that was his biggest knock, is a traditional quarterbacks that throw like that can lead to inaccuracy under pressure in the pros because the game speeds up, etc. But I don't like 7.5 for the Bears. I actually like under for the Bears. I don't think they win 7 games. They've got a coach that is kind of doing some desperate stuff. You're going to get Fields probably earlier rather than later. I don't think Fields is ready for this offense. I think in like Kyle Shanahan's offense, he would have been better set up for success. I like Allen Robinson. The defense that we've heard about, it's just another year older. And like you're like a Khalil Mack injury, or to your point, like a Roquan Smith injury away from that defense just not looking anything like itself. And I don't buy it, man. Under.
Yeah, I'm locking the under. So Aaron, we're gonna be in a lock off.
Jesus.
Okay.
Jesus. They do have the hardest schedule per the NFL rankings.
Yeah. So locking the under.
Holy
7.5.
Did you pull a me, Aaron? Did you look at this?
What, did I look at the Bears schedule?
Chicago's schedule? At LA, so then they catch Cincinnati, at Cleveland. They've got Green Bay, Tampa Bay, San Francisco. They get Baltimore, Arizona, at Green Bay. They have at Seattle. They play the Giants. They close in Minnesota. Their schedule might not have like a terrible 4-game stretch, but they got pretty like a lot of shitty 3-game stretches in there.
They're probably 5-4 at the bye. Let's see.
So you have them. So you have them beating Pittsburgh. You have them beating the Rams, the Lions, the Bengals, and who else?
No, I had them losing to the Rams. So they'll start out 0-1 at LA. They'll beat the Bengals, go 1-1. They'll lose to the Browns, go 1-2. Beat the Lions, beat the Raiders, beat the Packers at home.
Okay.
That's not an audio freeze. I was just staring at you. That was it. I was trying to. Okay. All right.
What part of that is crazy? I said they're going to lose to the Rams and the Browns.
Yeah, but I think Green Bay sweeps them. I think Green Bay beats them both times this year. And then they catch Tampa and then San Francisco.
It's at Soldier Field.
Yeah, okay. It's a weird like bean shaped thing, man. I'm good. I'm under already. I believe it. Hayden locked it. Enjoy your island. All right, next.
And they
Detroit.
look at this, down the stretch, they could finish 4-0 from Christmas on. They go home to the Vikings, at Seattle, home to the Giants, at Vikings. I mean, those are 2 guaranteed wins with the Vikings. You have the Seahawks. Russ is probably injured at that point.
Oh, what happened to home field advantage? One season, Aaron. You forgot the 12th man already?
12th man has been dead since the Legion of Boom left. I'm not that worried about the Seattle crowd.
Oh my God, this.
But Seattle and like,
baloney.
I guess like Chicago plays outside, so not a big fucking deal in Seattle.
No,
Detroit.
it's Aaron. I will bet you $100 myself that the Bears are under.
Oh, okay.
You got audio. You have audio proof. I don't think they win 7 games.
All right, great. That's done. I like that.
Okay. All right. I'll expect your check just sometime around November when they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs in true Chicago style. All right.
year.
We have the Detroit Lions. Is that who we got?
Yeah, Lions plus 2,100. They're sitting at a 5-win projection. What do you guys think?
Go ahead,
Dude.
Drew.
Dude. I've actually been waiting on this. I think they go over. I fucking love Dan Campbell. He is he's like if someone gave John Gruden like HGH for like 6 months, just like locked him in a weight room. That guy ends more sentences with man than anyone I have ever heard. And like they showed him in the draft, he's wearing like khakis and like a blue rugby shirt. He looked like a Best Buy employee, just fucking jacked. And they caught him in the audio. He's like, man, are you ready to come to Detroit, be a football player? Like, I'm like, dude, this guy, week 1, who do they play? Week 1, they play San Francisco. They beat the shit out of the 49ers. They are going to be so amped up and ready to go. I 100%. I'm in. I think that they win 6 games. I love Dan Campbell. Print me the T-shirt. I'm in.
I love that. I love that you can tell clearly he's a football guy, to your point, and he just came in the draft and was like, nope, these trenches are not good enough. Offensive tackle, defensive tackle, defensive tackle. Like,
that is true.
Bam,
Dude,
bam, bam in the first 3 picks of the draft. Like, nope, we're not playing any flashy football. We're gonna grind it out in the trenches right now.
110%. And I'm looking at it, and it's like, all right. So they get, I mean, their schedule
Start is rough. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're probably 0-5, maybe 1-4. They sneak one in. They beat the Rams. But like Philly, like I think they could beat Philly. I think they could go to Philadelphia and just manhandle the Eagles. I don't think there's any reason they couldn't do that. I don't know. I love it.
Cold weather plays so well.
I don't think they
got Philly at home, actually. I believe so.
Oh, great.
Oh, they do have Philly at home. You know that Dan Campbell at one point in this year is like, hey, anyone can wear whatever number they want now, right? And so he's like, yeah. And he's gonna be like, great, this is my left tackle. He wears number 8 now. All we do is run the ball. He's a blocker. I'm blocking 11 man. It's just perma Wildcat with just like, I don't know, some fat lineman who was like a quarterback in like Pee Wee football. He's like, can you throw it 22 yards? Yes. All right, you're a quarterback now. Run the ball. Rah.
Goff is going to go from an offense where he would throw the ball sometimes like almost 50 times a game to, no, we're going to run the ball like 30 to 40 times a game. Like it's going to be a pretty drastic turnaround for Goff.
They did pick up Tyrell Williams. They've not had a 1,000-yard rusher in God knows how long, but I'm willing to bet that changes this year because it's like, hey man, you're going to get 36 carries.
Yeah.
I mean, if you average,
they're sniffing around Todd Gurley.
Dude, and also we do this thing in the NFL where it's like, hey, this guy was a 1,000-yard rusher. That's only 60 yards a game. And this year it's less than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting 54 yards a game, you're a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
It's
like, all right.
It's almost more, you could turn it around. Say if you were healthy for 16 games and didn't get 1,000 yards, like you're really bad, more of a testament to your health as opposed to your skill.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Hayden, what do you think about the Rams or the Lions? Excuse me.
I don't know. I think 5 is kind of a fair number. I guess I'd lean towards the under, but I don't know. I was really hyped for the Slack
to be Lions Twitter on Sundays. I was really hoping that Hayden was going to jump on the over train with me.
Hey, I don't know. Looking at the start of their schedule, it is rough. So that's kind of all I got to say. And then after their bye, even at Pittsburgh, at Cleveland, versus Chicago, I don't know. That's
but with Aaron's shitty schedule reasoning, it's like they go 4-0 at the end. They get Arizona, at Atlanta, they get Seattle. They suck.
They might not win a division game. It's going to be brutal.
All right. What do we have? NFC West now, right? We're last one.
We're in the last conference here, boys. We have the Rams, just a hair. I mean, this is a tight race. They're both at 10.5 wins projected. Rams are plus 185 as of this morning. San Francisco is plus 190 to win the division. Then a little ways back, you have Seattle. They're at 10 wins, plus 270. And then we have the Cardinals, plus 600, 8 wins. There's no way that all three of those teams are going to win 10 games. It's not happening. And I've been staring at this for like the last few days, trying to figure out which one of these NFC teams is going to shit the bed, because it's going to happen. And the more and more I look at it, the more and more I think it's Seattle.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at Seattle, we're literally doing what we do the last like 5 years with Seattle, where it's like, is this the year that they finally run into the ground because their left tackle has been like a substitute, like dancing teacup from Beauty and the Beast, like the animated one, like not even the live action one. And I think what it boils down to is, as long as they have Russell Wilson, like, yeah, I think they'll win 10 games. I just do. I think DK Metcalf, they have Lockett with the brain meld. Their tight ends, who cares? Their running back, whatever. It's just like, it's one of those things where as long as Russell Wilson is playing and healthy, they're going to win 10 games. And they'll probably be close to winning 12.
But I think if you say that, then you have to be down on one of those other two teams. You have to be down on the Rams or San Francisco. So pick your poison. I mean,
do you? Like, you don't think three of those teams could win 10 games in a year where we get an extra game? I mean, you have a tougher division slate, but that division also drew the NFC North as their division they're going against. So each one of them catches a game with the Bears. They catch a game with the Lions. The Vikings game, I think, will be close with all three of those teams. I think they're relatively evenly matched, per the 6-minute tirade I had earlier. And then Green Bay, I think the Rams and Seahawks are probably on par with where Green Bay is. I don't think Seattle is as good of a team as Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. Don't get that twisted, but I think they'll be competitive in as many games as Green Bay will be.
Yeah.
I just love the over with the Rams. Rams are at 10.5. I'm all over that. I think Matt Stafford, to your point, what we talked about earlier, I think he could go off in LA with Sean McVay. It's probably the best coach he's ever played under. It was a revolving door in Detroit the whole time he was there. He's got wide receiver talent. He has good weather. He's got a good coach, offensive-minded coach. I just see them going way over, and I don't see I see San Francisco as a very high floor team. Even if they don't get 10.5, they're going to be right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there's enough.
San Francisco's got the easiest schedule, I think. The Rams were going to be one of my locks before you baited me into one earlier. So the Rams over is, I think that they're probably the 12 or 13 win team in that division. If you're looking at their schedule, at Chicago, at Indy, Tampa Bay, Arizona, I mean, their schedule is the toughest one in the division as well. But I think, to your point, Matt Stafford's a really good quarterback, right? And I'm thankful that we're finally going to get past this. Like, who doesn't get talked about enough, Greg? Matt Stafford and that arm talent. Look at the sidearm throw. Look at him fit the ball, and he's like, no more of this like dumbass like teleprompter stuff on Thanksgiving where like Tony Romo is talking about. Like, let's move on. He's really, really good, and he's on a really, really good team. And if he has the this is like my like Mike Greeny tease. It's like, but can he win? Can he win the big games? It's always been the underdog, always coming from behind. Can he front run?
It's a fair point. He's always just been like that QB that had to throw the ball 50 times to try to keep up. And now it's like, okay, now you're going to be in some tight games and have to make some really big decisions in the second half. Like, it's
Well,
just
now
kind
you're
of,
somewhere.
we haven't
Now
seen
you're
that.
somewhere where they don't expect you to lose.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot
And
for
you're
me though.
It's a lock. The Rams over is a lock for you.
Over 10.5 in LA.
Yeah.
I'm locking it up. That's
Hayden,
my-
thoughts?
I guess I'll just tackle all three of these teams since that's kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah, shoot.
Seattle, I don't know. I think I do believe still in home field advantage. Sorry to tell you, Aaron, but I don't know. I like them. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard in this division. There's so many competitive teams, like the three of them, other than the Cardinals, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe I'd lean towards the under with Seattle. I'm locking the 49ers over 10.5. I really believe in the 49ers.
Ooh.
I don't even care who plays, Lance or Jimmy G, locking that shit up.
Oh,
Wide receivers. Okay, you have Debu Samuel. I can't say that name clearly. Brandon
Devo,
Ayuk.
have you ever seen Friday? No, real question. Hayden, have you ever seen the movie Friday in your life? You're from Canada. I don't know if you've.
Friday. I don't think so.
and you're
Oh,
like
sh-
19 or something.
There's some homework, man. Okay, so Debo comes from that movie. That's fine. We'll talk offline.
Okay.
We're gonna get you hooked up. What bike?
There we
All
go.
right.
Okay. I'm getting a lesson here. It's an okay wide receiver group. Locking the 49ers and the Rams, I like them over as well. I think Goff is good. He's joining a team that is much better than the Lions. Good defense. Like, I don't even think we touched on the defense, have we, of the Rams? The best in the league. And yeah,
So good.
I like the over.
So you
So I
must
like
hate
the over.
Seattle. You must hate Seattle. If you're going over on
Yeah.
Frisco and on
guess.
LA.
I guess so, yeah.
God, this is the AFC West all over again, Hayden.
So
boy.
I didn't give you the rest. So I'm going over LA. I would have locked it had Aaron not baited me. I need to be better. I need to be better about this. I actually also like the over for San Francisco. To his point, they get healthy this year. They were missing Nick Bosa last year. Trent Williams missed some time. They also get back Greg Kittle. And if they have a quarterback whose name is not CJ Beathard, I think that they're probably going to be pretty good.
He's gone.
Yeah. So they also have the easiest schedule in that division based on where they finished. And
Did you see the deal they gave Trent Williams? I'm sorry.
a bajillion dollars.
They gave Trent Williams fuck you money. They gave him 6 years, $138 million.
How much of it's guaranteed? I don't care about the
Damn.
last number. How much of it's guaranteed?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Okay. Yeah. So it's 138, but really it's worth like $14, like on the back end. I like the over on San Francisco. I think they probably win 11 games, maybe 12. I under on the Cardinals. I don't know what the number is, but I hate the Cardinals and everything they've done.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. For a million reasons, I don't like the Cardinals. Schedule is tough. I think Kyler started his show at the end of last year. The durability is not there. He is slight of frame. The first like 4 games of the season before he like gets dinged up and slows down, it's going to be so much fun because he's so electric with the ball. He is. And for everything that I shit talked about Lamar Jackson last week and about how incredible of an athlete he is, but he can't throw, Kyler has an absolute rocket launcher, and I'm here for all of it. The play, the pass that he threw to DeAndre Hopkins was sick, absolutely sick. But no, I think they're going to get injury problems. JJ Watt's going to get hurt as he always does. I just don't see improvement from them, at least enough to get them over the, what was it, 8.5?
8. They're
8.
firm.
Yeah. Then it's a push. I mean, sure, they might win 8 games, but I doubt it. They're probably a 6-win team.
I wanted to at least contemplate the over just because I love Kyler Murray. I haven't seen somebody with the twitch muscles, the twitch quickness since maybe like Michael Vick. I mean, he's just leaving defenders in the dust. But I start digging in and looking at what they've done this offseason. And okay, they got Rodney Hudson. Huge. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
Rodney Hudson's one of the top centers in the league. That was huge. But the geriatric fucking list of the rest of their free agent signings it's like they're trying to skip to the end to be that team that has a good enough roster without enough blemishes on it that they can just add a few like elite veterans or like, guys that are past their prime.
They added AJ Green.
AJ Green, Malcolm Butler, and James Conner, who I understand is 26, but in running back years, that's like 97. I mean,
well, he's 26 after being in Pittsburgh, so it's 114.
Yeah.
That man has gotten the hell beat out
in
of
that
him.
air for 4 years, and you tell me how old you feel. I mean, fuck, man.
Just working in the coal mines.
Yeah, I just don't like what they did in free agency at all. It's going to be interesting to see Rondale Moore and Kyler Murray play together because they might have like two of the fastest guys in the NFL in the same offense, which could be fun. But I don't think it necessarily translates into victories, and they're probably going to go under 8.
So to your point about you were talking about them adding like old vets to this roster. I don't even think it's the how elite can we add these like elite difference makers to get us over the hump. I don't think the foundation was strong enough for that. I think this is, can I add 3 elite veterans to save my job? Can I get 4 vets to be grown-ups in the room and pull my young guys along long enough that I can point to it at the end of the season and say, we made progress. Please don't fire me because this is the end of year 3 and I've not done anything.
Paper Tigers. The paper.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
It's, and then if the inverse happens, it's like, oh well, JJ Watt got hurt, Kyler got dinged up. The free agent Malcolm Butler, 15th rated cornerback last year via PFF. We did our research, but I think he lost a step. Couldn't replace Pat Pete, missed him in the locker room. And then it's just, please, can I have another go around at this? Because I have this sick ass house I got to pay a mortgage on. Which also, I'm not hating. That house is dope as I'll get out, man.
Yeah,
that dude rocking loafers. Come on.
Yeah, the guy's got a lot of swag.
Hayden,
All right.
How do you feel about the Cardinals?
I'm taking the under as well. I don't like them at all. So,
Should we go over the locks one more time before we close?
Fire away.
all right,
Fire away.
Aaron, you got the Giants over 7, Chicago over 7.5, and the Rams over 10.5. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Over is a 3.
Yep.
Life's too short.
Life's
Drew-
too short. Positive
Drew.
vibes only.
You got the Buccaneers over 11.5. You got hooked into the Saints at under 9, and then the Vikings at over 8.5.
I can't believe you got me about an under. You dick.
Myself, I got the Giants over 7, Chicago under
Love that.
7.5, San Francisco over 11.5.
Love
10 and a
that.
half. San Francisco.
I think-
Oh, sorry, 10.5. That's my bad.
If
we're going head to head on the Bears, Hayden, you really got the purple colored glasses on tonight.
Yeah, I kind of do.
if I have to give like a Yahoo fantasy grade, Hayden gets an A for his performance. I
There we
really
go.
like Hayden's
How about
card
that?
looking back at it. He had the strongest fantasy draft this year for sure. Which just means that he's gonna get screwed. He might go 0 for 3 on these now.
Definitely.
Anyways, I digress.